Wow, it doesn't seem like it's been long enough for all this to happen, but the last time I saw you, well, since I've seen you, you won an Oscar. You were nominated for an Oscar again. So, and I'm sure you'll be nominated again this year.
Oh, no, that's... No, it's been the most frenzied year or two, but so
I know,
much fun.
to go from theory of everything, right, to Danish Girl, to this, it's crazy.
Totally great, and I spent most days pinching myself, but
Yeah.
loving it.
And in the meantime, having a baby.
This is true.
And
Yep.
how old is she?
She is 4.5 months.
That's precious. That's
She is heaven.
What's her
yeah.
name?
Her name is Iris.
And is Iris the precious 4.5-month-old sleeping?
Quick answer, no. No, and it's that hilarious thing by which before you're a parent, you sort of hear people talking about that, and then suddenly you're the guy who's like floating in a sort of constant jet-lagged, like with a sort of IV of caffeine. Yes, I've become that person.
But it's worth it.
It's worth every minute, because then occasionally it's that amazing thing when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you go in and you're sort of gently furious, and then you get a little smile and your heart breaks a bit, and it's totally worth it.
Yeah, there is nothing cuter. I have a friend who, they have twin boys and they're 4 months old. And to see a baby, when they start smiling like that, it's just, there's nothing better.
It's absolutely amazing. I've
Yeah.
got to say, yeah, it's extraordinary.
Yeah. Now, your wife, you've talked about this. I'm not outing her in this way, but you've talked about that she's late all the time.
She is.
Was late for your wedding, I believe.
Indeed,
Yes.
I think, and we talked about it last time I was here, and I was hoping that by making it public, that might change things. If you want to announce again, maybe it might,
No.
it might do.
Still has not.
Still not, but no, unfortunately not.
Was the baby late?
The baby was late.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, Hannah was totally on time, but the baby was late, and so Iris appeared in the world, and I gave her a stern talking to.
Yeah. How late was she?
She was a couple of weeks, yeah.
I was 2 weeks late
Were you
also.
really?
Was she a large baby?
She was a large baby.
How much did she weigh?
She weighed 8 pounds.
That's not big.
Is that not big? I don't know
No.
what the 8 and a bit pounds.
No, I was like 11 pounds, 12 ounces.
Were you really?
No, I didn't walk until I was like 2. I was huge.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So congratulations on that. And this is, you took her on a trip. And it's one thing to take a baby on a plane, but it's another thing to take a baby on a plane to Brazil to see the Olympics.
I know. We went to the Olympics when Iris was like 8 weeks old, and it was the most sort of astounding invitation. And I've always had this like utter fear of flying with children. And this was the first time she was flying, and of course we were on a flight with basically most of the British Olympic team, and there was this fear that what if she cries lots and then they don't sleep, and then they blame all of their lack of success on Iris. But she was amazing, Ellen. She was so calm. I was holding for a bit while she was being really calm, and she cried, and I gently handed her to Hannah. But then she was amazing for the whole flight.
Wow. So let's talk about the movie. It's a spin-off of Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, so it's set in J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World. It's set 70 years before Harry Potter, and it's about this English magizoologist who arrives in New York with a case full of these extraordinary magical creatures, and a couple get out, and that kind of sets in motion a whole chain of events that it was just... When I read this script, I had no idea what to expect, and it blew my mind.
Because I can't imagine seeing the movie. The visual is fantastic. I can't imagine how that's explained reading a script.
Well, the amazing thing about J.K. Rowling is often when you read scripts, it's just the dialogue that you see. But when you read her script, it was like reading one of her books, the intricacy of the detail, and it was like you were taken back to all those things that you kind of love in the Potter films, but now in the sort of world of New York, the Jazz Age, Prohibition, it was great.
And you had to keep secrets because it's one of those movies that nobody can know anything about.
And I'm useless at keeping secrets, and so it's been a really stressful few months.
Right.
Yeah. But there are some great surprises,
Yeah.
and one wonderful surprise that I'm really excited about. Yeah.
Yes. And then it was just announced that there are 5 more.
Which was news to us. So we had this fan event for Fantastic Beasts, and we were all there, and then at the end, J.K. Rowling arrived, which was again a complete shock for us. And whenever she comes, we turn into sort of excitable children. And not only was she there, but she then announced that she's, because she'd always had a specific story that she wanted to tell, which is sort of goes much further beyond just Newton, his case. But we didn't realize it was going to be 5 films. So there was a sort of very shocked moment when all of the cast, the 4 of us, were sort of aghast, but so excited.
You'll be very busy for the next while.
It might be, yeah, it might be a while.
You've probably already signed something and you didn't even know it.
Probably, almost certainly.
Because you'd be in a different seat if you hadn't signed anything yet, like 5 more.